Greetings, friends, and welcome. Today we're going to be comparing our next page of Latin text to the Greek text to see how well the Latin is doing. In our previous page, the Latin had two major issues. It had the word princeps in the nominative when it should have had princeps. I think that the genitive. I can't remember the form or the proper form it would be in Latin. I think principium or principum, but it. Essentially, the Greek had a genitive plural partitive, but the Latin only had the nominative as a predicate. So that was a slight issue. Could cause some confusion. Moving on, our next issue that the Latin had is it had either a perfect subjunctive or a future perfect indicative instead of a present subjunctive, which is what the Greek had in the very last clause of verse 2. So two issues, one of a tense and one of a sense and an idea. So not doctrinally changing, it's just that the history that it's giving to us is a little bit off in the details. Now let's go ahead and look at verses 3 and 4, see how well they have done. In our Greek, Jesus answered and said. Answered is aorist and said is aorist. We've got a dative referent right there. And then our Latin, we've got Jesus responds or responded and said to him, dative referent, perfect tense, aorist tense, so that's good. We have the two different options for this one due to its form, present or perfect. Since the Greek is aorist, we want the perfect in the Latin. Go ahead, underline that, cross that out, underline that, and cross that out. Encircle for good measure. There we go, that's fixed, and they do match, so that's nice. Moving on, truly, truly, I say to you, present tense, two amens and a dative. Truly, truly, I say to you, present, two amens and a dative, so that's good. Aeon me, unless someone has been born from above, aorist tense, hypothetical, aorist subjunctive tense. And then indefinite, specifically the someone rather than the question, which would have a accent right there. This one doesn't have an accent. So in our Latin, we've got nisi, aeon me, those two are the same, so that's good. Quis, specifically aliquis, so tis and aliquis, those two match up, that's good. Nominative singular, nominative singular. Born, perfect tense to go with our aorist tense right there, so that's good. Future perfect or perfect subjunctive. Since we got a subjunctive right there, I'm going to go with our second option of the perfect subjunctive rather than the future perfect. Cross that one off, circle this one. So these two together make that, so that's fine. De nuo, anew, afresh, again, versus from above or again. So, as I said in the Greek video, from above is the preferred translation of anothen, ano, from above, and then is the locative smushed on with that. And that's just the basic meaning of this adverb right here when these two are stuck together. So de nuo could be from a similar sort of setup as anothen, de, that looks like a preposition. Nuo, I'm not familiar what that's from. If I can find anything, that is if I have time to look up anything. Sorry, busy schedule. Then I'll put a note about here. But from the translations given to me by the Ecclesiastical Dictionary and from Short, this does not quite match up with this. I would think there's actually something better. However, since anothen can technically mean again, at least as far as BDAG is concerned, this works because again and again, anew, afresh, they have the same idea as again. However, I do wonder if that might just be the editors, the bias of the editors toward that. I don't know. Could be, might not be. Okay, my bias gets in the way too. Let's move on. So I'm not going to treat that as an issue. He is not able to see, aorist tense and present tense. He is not able, present tense, to see. There's no real way that, well, Latin could use the perfect tense, but that would be it would actually give the idea of prior to rather than singular action as the aorist does. So I'm not going to treat that as a problem because Latin doesn't have anything like the aspect of the aorist. We can't say to see once without like throwing the adverb once in there, and that would be kind of silly. So not an issue there. The kingdom accusative of God. Kingdom accusative of God. Good. Nicodemus is our subject. Says to him. Pros plus accusative present tense. Nicodemus says present tense to him. Ad eum. So those match. That's good. How is a man able? Present tense. How, in what way, is a man able? Present tense. So that's good. To be born. Aorist passive. Infinitive. And then we've got present deponent. Oop. Oops. Infinitive. To be born. So those two, that's about as close as they can get. Again, it could do the perfect infinitive, but it wouldn't really give the sense behind the aorist. So not something I'm going to complain about. Being old, or since this is a predicate participle, we could technically translate it in many of the similar ways to cum. So however we translate this, cum can also do the exact same translation because it's the way that the Latin can have these same sorts of clauses. So we've got circumstantial and causal here, and own could be circumstantial or causal in the Greek. So I don't see an issue between those two. Old man. This is subjunctive with cum. That's fine. Just a participle. That works. So no complaints on my part there. Let's see. Okay, that's the bottom of the page. Still visible. Nice to have a higher ceiling now. Surely, so question expecting a no as an answer with may. He is not able. All the way to ace Elthian, aorist, can't do anything about that in infinitive in the Latin. Where did it go? Num quid equals num, surely, and may. Those two are equivalent, so that's good. Present tense. Introire, present active infinitive, can't do anything about the tense. Same meaning, intro for an ace, that's good. Deuteron, adverb, the accusative form. Iterato, adverb, related to iterum, so those two match. In womb of his mother. In womb of his mother. Plus accusative, so those two match, that's good. And to be born. This is aorist passive infinitive. And to be born. These two match in their form. So I'm not going to complain about that. There's nothing that the Latin can do. So that's really good. Looking through this, I don't see any issues that the Latin has compared to its, the Greek original. So I would say that this page is passing with flying colors. We only have princeps and fuerit, I think it is, from our previous page. Those are the only issues that the Latin has had so far. So this is nice. I hope taking a look at this has been helpful for you, and I hope you have a very good day. Farewell. Hey, not asleep yet? That's okay. I've got tons of other videos that are equally sleep-inducing. Check them out. Alternatively, you could take a look at this video over here.